exciting is it to be here today? And I know many of you are wondering why we chose this location of all locations. It's because this location is the backdrop of what will be future homes. 4 to be exact, right, Sam? Yep. 4 new opportunities for accessible homes that will be affordable to folks in San Francisco. These garages and hundreds of other spaces like them often sit unused or underutilized while our city continues to experience a housing crisis that is pushing low and moderate income residents out of our cities. This is why in 2014 we took the first step towards converting these spaces into much needed housing. We saw some initial success, but as we all know, our bureaucratic system in San Francisco got in the way, and it's often too complex, and people find themselves struggling just to get through the initial permit application process, let alone the construction process. Since 2014, over the course of around 4 years, only 377 units were approved. More than 900 units were stuck in limbo because city departments could not agree on how to handle certain key issues. That was more than 900 opportunities for new housing. 900 units stuck and waiting for approval. That is why back in August, I issued an executive directive to clear the backlog of more than 900 units within 6 months, and to make sure that every application from that day forward was acted upon within 4 months. And today, I am so happy to announce that we have met that goal. All of the 919 units, that were stuck in review were acted upon, and that backlog is cleared. Of those, 439 units have been permitted, and over 90% of those projects that were approved, those units that were approved, are subject to rent control. That's more units permitted in the last 6 months than over the entire course of 3 years. It's a big deal. All of the remaining applications were responded to and sent back to the applicants with specific instructions on what they need to do to keep their application moving forward through the review process. We are now waiting for those to be approved. That process itself has been overhauled so that future applications are not subject to that old bureaucracy. We have new roundtable sessions where all relevant departments come and work together to review applications all at once. And each department added staff members dedicated solely to reviewing and submitting ADU applications. We created a simple, straightforward ADU checklist, the first of its kind, so applicants get the information they need to start the process up front so that each department can provide consistent feedback. And we conducted outreach to design professionals and homeowners to inform them about these new changes and encourage them to apply. These reforms have been incredibly successful, even in just our first 6 months. Since August, we have received applications for 206 new units, and 49 new units have been built. That is a 72% increase from the 68 built over the course of 3 years. But we are not stopping there. I am also proposing, as many of you might have heard, which is super duper exciting, the waiver of Department of Building Inspection permit fees for new ADU applications, saving applicants anywhere between $7,000 and $10,000 in fees to encourage people to come forward and produce more units. Waiving the fees, streamlining the process, It may sound like the simple thing to do, but it is so challenging sometimes to get some of the simple things done in San Francisco. What this process has shown us is that approving housing does not have to be and should not be a difficult process. We need clear guidelines, a transparent process for projects to either be approved or responded to. And this is why what I have done since taking office has been really about moving the process forward and getting more housing built in San Francisco so that people can afford to live here. Some of you know that I recently appointed a director for housing delivery whose sole job is to work with various departments to get housing built and to provide input on policies that we need to implement to either cut back on bureaucratic red tape or the things we need to do to move forward to get this important housing built. And many of you know that I'm proposing a charter amendment so that when we try to build 100% affordable housing that fits within the code of our existing policies, that it is done for teachers and affordable housing as of right. No more delays, no more bureaucracy. So, yes, we are making progress, and 6 months may seem like maybe a long time to many of you, but 6 months in bureaucratic time is really fast. And so I just have so many people to thank because doing this really does take a lot of people. We have a number of commissioners that are joining us here today. And I just want to thank the planning department. And I think the planning, is Myrna here? Oh, thank you. The president of the Planning Commission, Myrna Melgar, is here. Thank you for your leadership with the planning department to help make this possible. We have the Department of Building Inspection here as well, and I want to thank the director for being here. Oh, John Ram, planning director's here too. Commissioners, thank you, Commissioner McCarthy, and thank you, Commissioner Deborah Walker from the Department of Building Inspection for being here as well. Thank you to Chief Joanne Hayes-White with the Fire Department and President Steve Nakajo and Francie Covington from the Fire Commission are also here. Thank you so much. Thank you to Director Mohammed Nuru from the Department of Public Works, as well as the Public Utilities Commission. Can you believe it takes this many departments to get 4 units built? But guess what? It is what it is, and we're going to make sure we break down bureaucracy so that we can get this much-needed housing built. This is a first step because we know that there are so many things that we need to do in San Francisco to get more housing built and to get it built faster. We are going to be making changes, and it is by any means necessary for the purpose of making sure that we began the process now to get more housing built. So when we think about the next generation of young people growing up in San Francisco, and we think about what's going to happen when they become adults, where are they going to live? Where are they going to live in a city that they were born and raised in? We have to start now thinking about the future, and providing more housing opportunities is really what's going to change the future and make it possible so that the next generation of San Franciscans can afford to live here, and the people who are struggling to live here have real opportunities to live in the communities that they love. And so with that, I just want to thank each and every one of you and all the amazing people that made this possible. I'm really excited about this. I'm excited that we have shown that government can work. And this is a great day here in San Francisco. And with that, I want to introduce Serena Calhoun, who is an architect who actually is one of the persons who has been a beneficiary of being able to take advantage of this opportunity and get really important units built in our city.
Good morning. My name is Serena Calhoun. I am a local architect. I operate a small firm of 4 people in Hayes Valley. We, by some nature and some luck, have become sort of experts in the ADU process. Since the mayor's executive order 6 months ago, we have seen a radical change for the better in the ADU review process. We've had 15 projects with a total of 42 new dwelling units that were stuck in the system, move smoothly through this process just since her announcement. It's been absolutely incredible. Projects that were taking over 2 years for approvals are now being processed and approved in only 4 months. Actually, we submitted 2 projects at the end of October, and they are already approved. All the city departments have joined together to streamline the reviews, and most importantly, the reviews are consistent. I no longer have to make 6 individual recheck appointments with 6 individual people for every single project. I can do it in one shot. I get all their comments together. It's amazing. I can't say enough good things about the changes. I'd love to see that actually apply to a lot of other project types in the city of San Francisco. Yeah. The mayor's office has just done an incredible job, too, of really trying to find and ask us, as the creators of these spaces, for innovative ideas about how to make even more units and how to streamline the process further. And it is an honor to me to be able to even participate in those conversations in such a large city as San Francisco, who is creating and pioneering a new project type that can benefit the whole country. So I can't thank her office enough. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sam Moss from Mission Housing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody, and thank you, Mayor Breed, for hosting this. This is actually Mission Housing. We've been talking about this for years and years, and being able to stand here today and take credit for it is really awesome. You know, San Francisco is in the midst of a housing crisis, the whole Bay Area, but San Francisco especially. And Mission Housing, myself, we believe it's important to do everything that you can. Everyone should do everything they can, you know, from single-family homeowners to affordable housing developers, to alleviate that crisis and eventually solve it. And one thing we can do is add new housing units, and that is what Mission Housing is doing here. You know, and it's my hope that the affordable housing industry in San Francisco and Bay Area wide will follow Mission Housing's lead and, you know, get into the business of housing human beings instead of cars, because that's what we've been tasked to do. And it's because of Mayor Breed's leadership and the leadership of our city departments agreeing with that sentiment that we can do so today. And so, you know, I just want to thank everyone for coming, and stay tuned, because better things are on the way. Thank you.
And we also have a tenant who is going to be saying a few words. So, Dora, you want to come on up and speak? It's okay if you want. Okay. Great. Nice. Well, thank you for being here today. And again, these units will be accessible, which are really important for those who are seniors and those with disabilities. And so in thinking about the future of San Francisco, we have to think about all possibilities for housing. And I know that, you know, a couple hundred units may not seem like much, but in the bigger scheme of things, that one unit will make a difference in someone's life. And so we have to make sure in San Francisco that we are doing everything we can to capture as many units as we can for the purposes of expanding our housing stock, because we know we have a number of challenges, and we know that we need affordable, safe places for people to live. This is just one step. I'm really excited that we were able to meet and exceed the goal that we set forward in the directive last year. And there is definitely more to come in the future in providing housing opportunities for all San Franciscans. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Thank you so much.